Hey! Turn off that noise! Right now! Turn out all the noise. Alright, not all the noise. Not this noise. If you are wondering where you've stumbled into a time where noise is all canceled out. This is the noise canceling zone. No, it's the noise canceling podcast. I am your host, Sherri L Smith of Laptop Mag, and I am here with some of my wonderful co-hosts.
I am Gareth Beavis, Global Editor-in-Chief of TechRadar.
I'm John McCann, Deputy Editor of TechRadar.
I'm Samuel Roberts, and I'm the Senior Entertainment Editor of TechRadar.
Thank you, Sherri, for changing the running order straight away. That was nice.
I mean, like I said, you never know what you're gonna get. And especially when I'm running the podcast. So here we go. We are going to talk about some tech, but before that, we were talking and playing this podcast, and we for this big question, it has to do with one of my favorite games, Witcher 3. If you have not heard, Netflix the Witcher series has done so well on Netflix that it's actually going to get a prequel, like thousands of years before we even think about Gareth. This is how far ahead it's going to be. So today's big question is, which video game series do you want to see turned into a Netflix-style TV show?
I mean, first of all, I think I have to, before we get into the questions or the answers to the questions, I've got to apologise to Dad because I've looked at the running order. It's very gaming heavy, Dad. You may struggle through this one. He doesn't like the gaming. He's very old school with that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not all for him, you know.
It is.
Just giving him an update right now.
I'll always love my daddy. He's my favorite boy. Oh my God, that might be a variation of the theme song. It's coming to me, Dad. It's coming.
Gareth, would you like to see Rocket League, your favorite video game, adapted into a Netflix-style TV show?
That's not my answer, but yeah, I mean, imagine that. That'd be amazing. Would I want it to be like just really close to the game and just be like, you know, a young upstart trying to make his way in the professional Rocket League game? He's all like full of sass, but he doesn't have a clue about what he really wants in life, you know. Or would it be something that's a lot more abstract and thoughtful? I don't know. Both of those I would like. Okay,
great. I would counter suggest that The Elder Scrolls might be a good candidate for a TV show, because we've seen Amazon Prime make a Fallout TV show in the wake of The Witcher doing so well for Netflix. So I feel like another kind of fantasy universe that's got its own kind of rich lore would be a good fit. Like either Elder Scrolls or Dragon Age, those would both be great fits, I think.
I mean, these are sensible suggestions. You know what I really don't like? Those hospital-based drama series, you know, like House and that. That stuff's boring, man. Like, what I want is, why is no one coming into any of these hospital dramas with, like, bloaty head syndrome or Elvis syndrome or something? You know, give me Theme Hospital on my telly box every week. Someone else comes in, like Harryitis, like all the classics, and they've just got to be like, oh my word, this is insane. How do we treat this bloaty head person? And they have to get the big pin and like then vacuum them, blow them back up to normal size and stuff. Yeah, I'm down for that. Real stuff.
I thought I'm sure we had the conversation, which obviously we did, that you enjoy Theme Hospital. And then when you started saying, like, I hate hospital stuff, I was like, does John hate? Was I wrong? Have I got you completely wrong for all these years? But no, I was bang on the money. That makes me happy.
So this would be Grey's Anatomy cheap version edition?
It would be awesome edition.
All right, okay.
Like ultimate platinum edition.
All right.
I was going to say, for my one, again, homage to my dad, who probably doesn't like any gaming beyond Super Mario Brothers 2. Probably not even that. But I was thinking I would like to see Pac-Man reimagined into like a TV series, but with no reference that it's Pac-Man. So like it's like set in like, I don't know, Tokyo in the 1980s or something, and it's some guy who's just searching for, I don't know, we'd have to find some kind of simile for the dots. I don't want it to be obvious as like pills, but something, you know, like he's just constantly looking for this single thing, and he's just surrounded by ghosts, can't get out of them, and they just go absolutely true to the Pac-Man sort of series as it's gone over the years. There's Pac in Time, where he'd somehow find a way to time travel and be sort of outside of his normal 2D space or 3D space into a different mindset, but just something really gritty that focuses around the idea of like, can't find something and ghosts are chasing me everywhere. I think it'd be really exciting.
No, it needs the pills. So it would it would be either a psychological thriller or a horror, and the Pac-Man would think he was going insane and he needs these pills to keep him sane, and if he runs out of said pills, he will start hallucinating the ghosts.
Yeah, that sounds better now you've said it. I didn't want to go down the obvious route, but no, it's like, yeah, that sounds like actually I would watch that. So.
All right. And for mine, since we are talking prequels, I would like to do Mario Bros. So
it's been done.
No. So this would be before Princess Peach. This would be Paulita. This would be Paulita, Donkey Kong, Mario, Luigi trying to rescue Paulita. Prequel.
Oh, we're talking origin stories. I like it.
Yes. We would do that. And like figure out why it didn't work with Pauline and how and then it would like transition into him finding this mysterious pipe and just going down the wrong pipe and ending up in the Mushroom Kingdom. That's how we will roll into the remake of Super Mario Brothers.
I mean, so that's already been covered how he found the pipe in Super Mario Brothers the film, which is, arguably one of the greatest films ever made.
Yeah, no. This it's time for a remake. I love John Leguizamo and good Lord, rest in peace, Bob Haskin. But that was a travesty, and we need a redo.
But I mean, equally, I think like the origin story of them is just literally going to plumbing school. The good 3 years of them getting through college, just having a really fine time, eating the odd pizza, off they go.
No, because then Mario's dating Pauline, and then genetically modified ape escapes from the zoo, takes a fancy to Pauline, and runs off with her, and they have to go. Yeah, no. This will be I've thought of this before.
That's just Rampage.
A little bit. Nothing wrong with that. So let's see. Based off of what we heard. Although I do want the Pac-Man thing. I think that would be very dope. And at the end we have this Saint Elsewhere reveal with oh my god, it's Pac-Man, it's Pac-Man. I am going to go with the theme hospital.
Yeah,
it has to be the hospital. It's such a good idea.
I want to see people with big head syndrome. I want to see people with the slap. I can only communicate.
The slack tongue. Yes.
And I could only communicate through slaps and slapping the hell out of the doctor's. Yeah, I want that.
Because as John said it, I was like, you're right, I am tired. And I do get into them, but I'm tired of all the medical dramas just being the same thing. It's a medical emergency we can never solve, except we can solve it through friendship or some shit like that. But the best, I still think one of the best medical series is Scrubs, and taking Scrubs to the degree would be brilliant, and taking it even further, just being ridiculous would be wonderful.
So, on to news. OnePlus Nord. Someone reviewed it. Someone's going to tell me why this is or is not a good phone. Go.
I'm going. Okay, OnePlus Nord. It is a good phone. OnePlus, who originally burst onto the scene in 2014 with its flagship-killing OnePlus One with a mid-range price tag, and has ever since slowly increased its prices up to a point where actually it's no longer some sort of young, rough upstart looking to unsettle the big players. It's just another big player with really big price tags, which has sort of not gone down particularly well with its die-hard early fan base, who are all about, yes, flagship specs at sort of half the price. But now it is offering those people just that. It is a handset which is around the $350 to $400 mark. So, you're talking new iPhone SE just below level, potentially sort of Pixel 3a, 3a XL, that sort of level of pricing. And it has a decent feature set. It's got a premium design. It's got a big screen. It's got enough power under the hood. 8 gig or 12 gig of RAM in a phone, it's too much, but it's there, and you can use it if you want. 128 or 256 gig of storage. There's 6 cameras on this thing, the most OnePlus has ever put on a phone. Is that overkill? Yes, slightly. There's 4 on the back, there's 2 on the front, but overall they are good. They're strong contenders. You're going to get some good quality images out of it. It's also got Nightscape, it's night mode, which is a decent attempt at a night mode. It's not quite as good as Google's attempt or maybe Huawei's attempt, but it does a decent job, and you can get some quite striking pictures from it. I took a nice shot of a gas station, because I'm well arty, the other night, and it looks really nice. So it is a good all-round phone. The battery life is fine. It could be slightly better, but it should last you a day. There's no official IP rating, which means there's no guarantee to water or dust resistance on it, but OnePlus has said that it will survive a short dip into shallow water, but it's at your own risk. It's a bit of a slippery phone, but you do get a case in the box, so you get some grip, and it gives you a bit of protection as well, which is nice. There's fast charging available, but no wireless charging. But overall, for the money, you're getting plenty of bang for your buck.
So you recommend?
Yes, I absolutely recommend. Yeah, go check it out.
I kind of want to see these 6 cameras in action myself.
What do the 6 cameras do?
So on the back, there's 4. The main camera is a 48 megapixel Sony sensor borrowed from the flagship OnePlus 8 phone, and that's going to be your day-to-day shooter. That's the one it default loads into, and really for most things, it's good enough. There's a ultra-wide camera on the back, allowing you to do sweeping vistas, capture them all. So if you're in a place of particular natural beauty, then, or you just have a large crowd of people that you want to capture in front of you, that ultra-wide camera will give you just...
Shouldn't be doing that.
You shouldn't be doing that. What, capturing large groups of people?
Not in COVID, you should.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're having to go ultra-wide because they're all 2 meter spaced.
Very true.
And so, yeah, you know, it is, if anything, it's the perfect answer to COVID because it takes into account that spacing.
True.
So you've got ultra-wide, you've got the main, you've got a 2 megapixel macro camera, which is fine. That one really seems like we've just added it so we can say we've got an extra camera on it. Yeah, you can get up closer to my Lego set on my desk, for example. It's okay, you know, it's fine, but it's not really needed. And then the final one is a depth sensor for that portrait mode stuff, which does work well, although with this particularly lockdown hair thing, it can sort of get a little bit confused with the real outer frilly bits of my hair, but it generally does a very good job.
That's not a camera. It's a sensor. It's a depth sensor.
I just said it was a depth sensor, but OnePlus is billing it as 6 cameras on the phone. Yep, semantics are interesting.
Semantics are fun.
I feel like there's 2 things there. There's one, the fact that the 2 megapixel camera, a macro sensor, that's as good as the iPhone's first camera back in 2008. So 2 megapixels is surprising there, but I'm sure it's a lot better. But also, I like the fact we've just completely glossed over in just generally the phones that 48 megapixels is ridiculous as a number. You know, we've gone from like, that's just crazy, where we had 6 years where it wasn't anything over 40. So everyone's like, yeah, fine, 48. Like, yeah, sounds enough. Yeah. It's sort of like with like football transfers. We now spend £100 million on a player. Like, yeah, fine, makes sense. You know, it's £100 million. What are you talking about?
I mean, we've lived through Nokia. Like, remember that Nokia phone that came out with 128 megapixels? Like, yeah, all right, fine.
Was there 128 from Nokia? I thought it was the PureView that topped out at 41.
No, am I?
Then he did the 1080, which had the same sensor in it again. But then that's what I felt that was the point where I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've missed something since then. But
we'll have to check that out for next week's podcast. See who's right, see who's wrong.
There's a Xiaomi smartphone with a 108 megapixel camera.
I love extravagance. But what I don't like is hacking. So, Gareth, apparently Garmin has been hacked.
Yeah, this was a fun one. I went on holiday on Friday last week to sort out some life admin. And then Garmin, you know, I use a lot of Garmin stuff so I can run around and tell people how good I've done. It went down. It was all, you know, it goes down once in a while because they do maintenance, fine, ignore it. And then you try again. You're like, hang on, this has been down for a while. I started following the story and realised that, you know, Garmin was properly down, and then all these rumours started sort of wondering why it was going to happen. And Garmin employees themselves began tweeting, "We've been hit by ransomware." Basically, and Garmin hasn't said the phrase ransomware, but has confirmed a cyber attack that did encrypt its files, which is ransomware, and that they were being demanded a ransom to unlock all these files. So what happened was then, it seems, is that Garmin had to lock down all of its systems to prevent, you know, too much being encrypted. Had to shut down production. You couldn't email anyone from Garmin. You couldn't phone the call centers. You couldn't do the live chat. You couldn't connect anything. This is not just fitness wearables. They have aviation. So, you know, pilots who are using the latest Garmin database for FAA compliance some of them had to ground their planes. They couldn't do it. There's these oil tankers that are using Garmin systems to navigate the seas. They weren't working in the same way. They couldn't get up-to-date data. They were still working as devices. You know, you could work offline, but you couldn't get the most up-to-date stuff. So everything Garmin went offline, and you know the big outcry was from all the users who couldn't upload their stuff to say, look how well I've run. But in reality, it was all the sort of the subsystems underneath that weren't working. And it looks like, according to Sky News, that Garmin have just paid the ransom to unlock all the files. I mean, it depends how much, because the thing is, you know, any good company would have strong backup systems where, you know, this ransomware. So basically, if you don't know what ransomware is, it's a chance where a hacker will go and just basically lock your files and say, give me $10 million to unlock it, otherwise I'll delete them all, or you can never have them back. And you're basically screwed. You know, and if you haven't got backups that you can just go jog on, go pound the sand, as somebody said, and we'll just reboot off something else, then you're basically screwed. And it looks like some parts, if not all parts, Garmin had to reboot that, but they've yet to confirm. There's an earnings call today that may shed more light on it, but yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, Garmin's a huge company, as I said, has lots of different strands that it needs to service and people rely on it for different things. And so it shows that not just that, any company can be, without good cybersecurity, can be screwed from just someone going, yeah, I'm going to lock all your systems. And also this question of how long ago did it do it? It could have placed that software in or that malware in many months ago, and it's just been waiting until it was fully embedded. Who knows? So still questions to be answered.
That is completely terrifying.
It is.
I don't like it. And like at times like this, we kind of need a hero, which is apropos because the second season of Umbrella Academy is out. Sam, talk to me about that.
Yeah, so Umbrella Academy Season 2 released on Friday, 31st of July. And it's the second season following a very successful first early last year. It's a show about a group of dysfunctional superheroes. They're all kind of adopted siblings, and their father didn't treat them very well. And they kind of reunite years later to form this kind of superhero group to fend off the end of the world. And spoiler alert, at the end of Season 1, they all escaped into the past because they couldn't prevent basically an apocalyptic event. And this second season is set in the 60s in Texas and sees the same group of heroes spread out across the state. And one of the characters has to reunite them to face another apocalyptic threat. So it was a very popular offbeat show, and it's probably the biggest TV series Netflix is releasing through the rest of the summer, I would say.
I can't believe you just spoiled it so badly. There's usually like a statute of limitations where, fine, if you're going to spoil a Lost, people are going, you should have watched it by now. But a lot of people haven't seen Umbrella Academy Season 1, me included, who got bored of it and may never watch it. But
well, I feel like it was basically a year and a half ago that it released. That's a pretty good period of time. And
no, that's long enough.
That's not long enough.
There's loads of parts of the story that I've missed out there in that very very brief overview, including the talking monkey.
Okay, yeah, but he's not a spoiler. He's just a fun character.
Well, still, it's a delight to uncover that element of the show, I would say. But I think this second season, you kind of they've given it away with all the promotional materials. They're all very 60s themed. And yeah, it's our reviewer who took a look at it early this week, Tom Power, basically suggested that it's a stronger season than the first because it's not quite as beholden to the source material. It's a little bit more original. It's based on a comic book from Dark Horse Comics that was created by Gerard Way and Gabrielle Barr, an artist. And it was a cult favorite for a long time, but it's not a hugely detailed adaptation. It more uses it for inspiration on tone and characters, and then kind of builds its own story. Most of the best comic book adaptations around these days do a similar thing.
I don't have a witty segue for what I was going to talk about, which is basically a face-off that we've done on Laptop Mag, the Asus Zenbook 13 versus the Dell XPS 13, and we are calling the battle of the ultra slim bezel machines.
Nice. Give us a quick jingle if there's no segue.
Can I try a really convoluted segue?
Yes, you can.
So I was thinking that Umbrella Academy is to me one of the better superhero series, even though I wasn't a massive fan myself, but like I could, having just watched the beginning bits, I could see how critically it was good. And it reminded me how bad the Ghost Rider was as an addition to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which made me think of Ghost Rider, the film starring Nicolas Cage, who was in the film with John Travolta, Face Off. What you're doing? Facing off two laptops.
Bravo.
You're welcome.
My word.
Wow. That was a lot.
That hurt. It was so sweaty it hurt.
So back to this face-off. So the Zenbook 13 versus the Dell XPS 13. The latter is one of our favorite overall laptops. This was actually a pretty close face-off. The Asus Zenbook 13, it's a beautiful laptop, as is the Dell XPS 13, but one is blue. And when you see a lot of black and white and gray and silver or whatever color they want to call it, laptops like the Asus is very striking. Performance-wise, like, of course, the XPS aided. It also aided on the display portion, security, and a few others. But overall, if you want a less expensive laptop that can still get the job done and looks pretty damn good doing it, you go with the Zenbook 13. If you want a performance beast that looks good wherever you take it, it has a beautiful display and a surprisingly good audio system for such a slim laptop, then you go with the Dell XPS 13. But I was very pleasantly surprised as to how these two laptops matched up. So both of them are good buys. I'm not going to kick either one of them out of bed.
great advice. Love it.
I mean, it's not a great face-off if you're not telling us which one's better, though. Come on, you have to pick one.
Well, like power, battery life, display, and a few other things. The Dell XPS 13 is clearly the better laptop. But if you're on a budget, then go for the Asus.
And it depends how much you like blue.
That too, but it is a sexy color. Asus is one of those few companies out there that likes to play with color, and I am very appreciative of that fact. And with that said, what are we moving on to? Oh, more video games, but it's a video game that I'm very excited.
Sorry, Dad.
I'm sorry. So there are rumors swirling that we're going to see a God of War 5 announcement and maybe a surprise game along with it. I laugh because you really have to take this one with a grain of salt. It took Cory Barlow and crew, it took them like half a decade at least to get God of War, the reboots, together. So I doubt that they would have 5 ready this soon, even though, oh my God, I would be so excited if I could get it like in 2021 or 2022. Oh my God, please, can I have that? But according to a leaker, it's supposed to be coming in fall of 2021. I just can't take this seriously, even though I want it. I want it so bad. God of War was one of the best games I played for the PlayStation generation, and I really want to jump back into that world. And for the surprise game, the rumor is that it's going to be Silent Hill. I don't know how true that rumor is because we were supposed to be getting a Silent Hill with Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, and we all saw how that turned out.
How did it turn out?
It turned out that we got the excellent PT demo that if you have a PlayStation that still runs it, keep that PlayStation. It's going to be worth some money because Konami and their beef with Hideo Kojima like kind of disabled it. And so if you downloaded it or like uninstalled it and want to re-download it, you no longer can. So it's become one of those rarities. So if you have it, save that PlayStation. Do not sell it. It's going to be worth some money eventually. We actually did a video on Tom's Guide where we had an unsuspecting person play through PT, and it was hilarious watching them be scared to death. It's a horrifying game. It's such a horrifying demo that you like, and when you finally get through and you see you're back in Silent Hill, you're like, oh God. I wish that we got that game, but supposedly we'll get that game. It won't be with Hideo Kojima, who is supposedly working on another horror game that's supposed to be the scariest ever, but stay tuned for that.
No, it just sounds like you just don't want to be hurt again, and so you're just telling yourself that these cannot be true.
Yeah, like that's a lot of excitement to build up. Like I don't want to go with. I want God of War and I want Silent Hill, but I don't want to sit there. Ooh, is it now? Is it now? How about now, and be doing that for like a whole year, only for someone to finally be like, "Oh, you shut the hell up! It's not coming yet." I don't want that. So I'm really tempering my expectations on this. So take this rumor with a artery clogging induce like measure of salt, not just a grain. Like just like whatever it would take to just make an artery just harden and just really just like that's the amount of salt that you need to take it with.
And it's making me think about your smoking station, Sherri. How's your grilling game going these days?
I am going to actually go get some ribs and do some ribs this week. So I am excited about that. Like I have this sauce that I have been perfecting. It is made with fresh mango, canned adobe peppers, cilantro, and a few other things. It's sweet heat. It is amazing. And just really quick before we put John on the spot with the news blast, I need to tell you all that yesterday a mysterious box arrived at my house. And when
and you're like, what's in the box?
Yeah. It was not a head or whatever Deus Ex Machina that you could imagine. It was a white glowing box.
Whoa.
And it's from Sony. And depending on how loud you are or like how frequently you make noise. Like this box should be on noise canceling. It pulses in reaction to the sound. So I cannot tell you until next week what is in the box. But I thought I would set up that little bit of mystery.
Oh, wow.
That is the most mysterious thing I've heard on this podcast. You haven't even told us off mic what this is, and it's really upsetting me now.
I like coming with surprises. So, yeah, mysterious box. Stay tuned next week to find out what is in the box. So, with that little grain of mystery set in there, John.
Yo.
Are you ready to do today's News Blast?
Yes. Just run by me. What are the rules here?
All right, so this is a new segment that we are playing around with. So News Blast is some unsuspecting guest or co-host will go through a list of stories and they will try to describe them all within a minute. They will give us a title. They will give us a description of what the article is, and they're trying to get through as many as humanly possible in a minute. So far, Gareth is the king.
Well,
Gareth has done 11 in a minute. I did a measly 4.
I mean, Sherri basically read out the stories for and then gave some comment, gave some reaction to each one, and then moved to the next one.
So Sherri was a proper journalist,
yeah,
and you were just some sort of hack, is what I'm hearing.
He kind of did the Micro Machine Man thing, but he did one of those, and I was thoroughly impressed. And our guest last week got either 7 or 8. I can't remember.
8. Sharon got 8.
Got 8. So John,
okay. Yes.
Are you ready? I am going to cue up my timer. And on the count of 3, you're going to go fast as you can, because you now, sir, will be the gingerbread man. So
what?
I've always thought of you that way, John.
As fast as you can, you're the gingerbread man. Yeah.
So 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, there's a new Call of Duty game that has been leaked by no other than chipmaker Doritos. It's called Cold War. Look out for that soon. Apple Watch 6, iPhone 12, launch date leak, could be September 8th. Mark that in your calendar. Rick and Morty Season 5 trailer, 2 minutes 34 seconds of rough animation draft for anyone looking to get their teeth into that. Galaxy Note 20 and Galaxy Watch 3 basically confirmed, sort of by a teaser image on Samsung's own website. If you hate your eyes, there's going to be a garish 24-karat gold PS5, which will just make you weep constantly. WhatsApp could have a big game-changing feature coming up, allowing you to run it at the same time on 2 different phones. Remember Barnes & Noble's Nook? Do you have a Kobo? Everyone knows what a Kindle is. Well, there could be a new challenger from Chinese outfit Xiaomi looking to undercut it price-wise. Sony A9 OLED TV 48 inches is on pre-order now. $1,800, that's a lot of money. Crash Bandicoot is back with Crash Bandicoot 4.
What is that? What was that, 10?
9.
Oh, dang. All right, 9.
I thought he'd done it. I was worried then.
That was impressive. Good job, John.
I mean, John, how do you pronounce the chip maker? Who?
Doritos! Doritos! No? Is that not how it's said?
I mean, as you said it, maybe that is how it's supposed to be pronounced.
What can I say? I'm a man of the world.
I mean, in American, we say Doritos, but
in England we say Doritos, but we could be butchering something.
I thought I was going to say Doritos, but it doesn't sound very fun. Doritos. It's just
Doritos.
Like, tell me more. I'm interested. I'm already salivating.
Doritos sounds like the name of a boss in a fantasy game.
We have just had an exclusive come through as well from the man of this parish, James Peckham, who has found out that Mobile World Congress next year is still going to go ahead, but it maybe, like CES 2021, is going to be digital only.
It's more that they've confirmed that there are going to be virtual elements of it, but at the moment they're not saying that it's going to be fully virtual. By the looks of it, they're still planning to have a physical event of some description.
Why do we have to keep playing these games? Like, it's going to be virtual. It's going to be all digital. Don't play these games. Like, stop it. Stop it.
Well, no, you say that, but IFA this year is going to go ahead as a physical event in Germany, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
But that's in September, and yeah, it's going to be absolutely minimal. But it's better than just we'll sit in our bedrooms looking at keynotes to a computer screen. We actually people are going to be there in a very socially distanced, very clever, very sanitized version of it. Spiral on 6 months, assuming that Spain hopefully gets the spike down slightly, and we could well be there. I'm not saying that we will. I'm just saying let's not rule it out. I'm hopeful of the world returning.
I mean, you might be there, but who knows when America will be off of lockdown because we're just idiots over here. Pray to whatever creator or don't if you're atheist, but throw a care in the wind for us poor Yanks. We're just under siege right now.
I know, but I'm just thinking back to Mobile World Congress this year was cancelled in February, and just thinking that is crazy. I can't believe that's happened. No. And part of me thinking, well, this is the worst it's going to get.
Woo.
And thinking, how weird that things have been cancelled, and did not consider at all that in July I'd be sitting here having not seen the people I care and love for all the time in the office.
Yeah, same here. 2020, we had such high hopes for 2020. The stoners, they were like, oh my god, the whole month is 420, and it was just the whole month is just devastation, and then we had murder hornets and all of this stuff.
People keep saying we're on the darkest timeline since 2016.
Yeah, it is the darkest timeline. Unpopular opinions, let your hate unfurl. Someone thinks Halo Infinite look good. This should be good. Why do you think that? Sam!
Sing it, Samuel. Take up the song.
Can I do a spoken word rap, like The Streets,
yes.
or similar UK?
Yes.
Like William Shatner.
I mean, you'll just have to put a backing beat to this, in edit, to be honest. But Halo Infinite. So at the Xbox Series X showing last week, Halo Infinite didn't make the best impression. Partly because some of the screenshots they released alongside the game, which looked very traditionally kind of Halo-like, this big open sort of verdant world that you go and shoot aliens in, very much a kind of Halo sort of staple sort of environment. The screenshots look pretty rough, and I think people were expecting more from next gen. But I think when you see the footage in 4K 60 frames per second, which they released after the stream, it looks a bit better. And I think generally the game looks a lot stronger in motion. And yeah, so they've kind of been fighting fires with that one. It feels like the sort of perception of it being quite an ugly game has hit the perception of the Xbox Series X as well, because I think people are wondering, why am I having a next gen upgrade that's going to cost me X amount of money? We don't know the price yet. If I'm just going to get games that look basically on a par with what I can play now. And it didn't help that the footage they had was shown on a PC and not the Xbox Series X itself. So it's even harder to get an idea of why people should be excited about the game. But I still thought it looked pretty cool. I think maybe Halo's a little bit insular now, where a lot of its existing fans are the people who get excited about the series, and that's it. But I still think it's a world-class first-person shooter series, and I think people were just a little bit harsh on it when they revealed it last week.
I mean, gamers are the hardest people to satisfy. So, I personally didn't have a problem with how it looked. Maybe I was just looking at it through rose-colored glasses because I love Halo. I am excited to get back in there, and I have so many questions about how they're going to pick things up from Halo 5. Especially with Cortana, because there was not a trace of Cortana in this trailer, and I want to know why. At this point, my early prediction is that one of those two are going to die. Somebody's going to be. It's either that Cortana's going to be turned into a real life girl, and she'll be able to realize her love for John, and he'll finally take off that helmet, and we'll be like, oh my god. Or he's gonna die and digitize, and they're gonna be together in a digital world, just a digital girl finally getting her digital dream boy.
Or he's already dead, and the whole game you're playing is this AI powered suit, and then you find out halfway through that Master Chief's died or something. That'd be That'd be wild.
So basically, it's looking like a mashup of a rom-com and The Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Because
Cool.
I mean, if you did play Halo 5, and I am going to spoil this because you should have played it by now. The last thing we see is Cortana just kind of carrying Chief off. She low key kidnapped that man, and yeah.
Is that where Cortana's from?
Yeah. The voice assistant, yeah.
As you were saying, I thought you were going to be telling me that they've Microsoft paid to be in the game, and she's like, Cortana's now this extra character.
No, it's the game came first. It's weird, right? It's very, very weird.
Yeah, so she kidnapped him as she kind of became the queen of the AI's forerunners, I think. And it was like, oh, all right, she's just going rogue and just kidnapped her man. All right, cool. So, I mean, I just hope that they do a little bit better on the story. Halo 5 story was a little, like, outside of the Cortana Chief thing, the Agent Locke stuff was kind of weak. And like it could have been so much better, and they just sold it. They hyped it up, and it just did not deliver.
Can I haven't got an unpopular opinion, but I have got an annoyance that it's quite lame.
Bring it.
Okay, so as all of the listeners will remember, I've moved house and unearthed all kinds of tech, and the amount of things that I've found, and I'm like, oh, wicked! I'm actually going to finally do that. So these include night trainers that had the kind of the forerunner, the precursor. To sort of those pressure pads, so you could do exercises that would tell you you land on your feet, on your balls of your feet, on your heels, and tell you if you're doing the exercises right. Really early tech that allowed you to do it. I was like, I'm going to try that again, see if it works. Couldn't do it. That wasn't available anymore. There was a game, a Hot Wheels car that you could place on an iPad and it would play games. Gave it to a child. Can't download the app anymore. And just the amount of tech that I've got that is now completely obsolete because I cannot download the fucking app anymore because it's not supported on later iPads or iPhones or what have you. It's just driving me crazy. It's brilliant that these app developers are also these manufacturers are upgrading the software so that they can be more secure and everything, and the apps have to be compatible with it. But it means the old stuff that is based on the old source code just doesn't work anymore. And you can't even access it. You can't even get it, and it doesn't work if you can. It's just driving me crazy because it's not all this dead stuff that I can't use anymore. I've got some smart scales that are just not smart scales anymore. They're just scales. The scales are stupid if they can't be smart.
Yeah, like, how old was that Hot Wheels app? Because I remember that
2013.
I mean, do you really expect it to still be like that? We're 7 years later. Do you really expect to be going strong like that? So?
No, but you should be able to still get it, even if it's an old shit version of it. The point is, like, you can't even have it anymore. They're like, no, that's olden times now. You can't, even though that the app will, the car will still connect to it, and you can still play it if you want to. Like if you dig out an old Sega Mega Drive or Genesis for America, you can still plug it into a TV and make it work. You can't do that with like this app connected stuff.
I can agree with that. Like, it would be nice if you at least got a word of warning, like, hey, this is about to shut down. Like, the way that they shut down video games, app developers should send out a blast, like, hey, we're discontinuing this.
But you can still play the video game, though. Like I said, you can still put the disc in, or, you can still play the download, whatever it would be. You can still use it later on. You can do it offline. But if you come back to it later, there's no opportunity. It's dead.
Well, these days it depends on the game because, a lot of people are moving away from physical copies, and PlayStation is literally selling all digital PlayStation. So,
yeah, but I still feel like you should be able to get like the last version of it, and it should work in some sort of weird sandboxed way. So it might be rubbish, but at least it's not insecure and going to break anything. But you can still play the old stuff. It would be nice. Nostalgia is important as I'm getting older, and I really feel the need to keep servicing that.
No, I feel you, but I feel like that topic is going to be an unpopular opinion in like 2 years. So stay tuned for that, folks. And with that said, I want to thank my lovely co-host, and I want to thank my guest. It was a pleasure as always, and it's always good doing noise canceling. So now is that time of the podcast where we plug our individual pursuits and goals and dreams. So I'm going to start with you, Sam. Tell us where we can find you.
Well, you can find me on TechRadar. I'll usually be writing about Netflix stuff. Every week I write a watch this stuff on Netflix and other streaming services pieces.
What should we watch this week, Sam?
Umbrella Academy Season 2, Gareth. We covered this. Do you not remember? Jeez. Next week, I'm not sure actually, but the next big thing coming up after Umbrella Academy, not on Netflix, is The Boys season 2 in September. That's probably going to be might be one of the last big TV shows of the year. The Mandalorian season 2 is coming up too, but just because TV and film production's basically shut down. So go to TechRadar and read about all my thoughts on that kind of thing.
All right, John, you're up.
Nice. You can find me on Twitter at JJ McCann, and you can find me writing occasionally on techradar.com. I've got 4 cars lined up for August, so I'm going to be testing out the tech in those.
Are you going to jump over them?
I will try, because some of them are smaller, but I will see how my quads are feeling before I try and do that. But yeah, going to be doing a lot of car tech testing over the next month, so that's interesting.
All right. Gareth, what you got?
Well, obviously, first of all, TechRadar's amazing. Please go there for all of the bestest content that ever did exist in the tech world. I'm Super Beav on Twitter. And again, I don't know why you're trying to destroy my relationship with my father, but we haven't gone to the dad section this week.
I mean, does he have anything to say?
No, he doesn't. But I was going to say, I'm going to just scroll through my WhatsApp and get you guys to stop, and I'm going to read the first message that comes out.
Okay, go. You scrolling?
He said, bet it's cold there. Need to win tonight, although Luton on better form. XC. There you are.
And what did you reply?
I was at the game, got really cold, we lost, I just wrote the word balls 2 hours later.
Good.
But go to TechRadar for all your tech needs. It's brilliant. TechRadar on all the socials.
All right, and last but not least, I am Sherri L Smith, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MissSmith11, MISS Smith11, and laptop in the past, laptop now, laptop forever. And by the way, we are still looking for fresh-faced young writers and or old grizzled writers. Like we need everybody, all walks of life. Please visit our How to Pitch page and send us your ideas. Like, we're looking to expand into new categories, and we can't do it without you. So bring your pen, bring your ideas, and we'll try to make it happen.
The Noise Cancelling Podcast is part of the Audio Boom Originals Network. I keep forgetting to look at other ones because I keep talking about Life's Little Mysteries from Life Science. Next week, I promise, I will come with a smorgasbord of choices for you there. So, but we are part of Audio Boom. Please do like and subscribe to us wherever you can find that, wherever you get your podcast. We will exist. A subscribe is a very good thing, helps us get up the charts. So please do that if you have enjoyed it. And of course you have. I mean, it's a scintillating take on the tech world every week.
Indeed. So with that said, it's now time to say goodbye, but we'll be back next week. Come back and find out what's in that mysterious box. Noise canceling out!